Hello YouTube, it's me again, and today we're supposed to be getting a blizzard outside, so it's actually pretty cold. Um, but I do have all my little makeup bits here to show you. Sorry, it's a really full basket, but I do have it here, along with my notes, so I can remember which things go where. Because if you'll remember, I have 2 project pans going this year. Alright, where are they at? Okay. So, as for my January goals, I think all I really set for January was just to use them, to make progress on them. I already knew I wasn't going to use any of these products up at that point, so I just set goals to use things, and I did use things. Some a little more than others. In fact, 2 of these products I put in my seasonal project pan. So if you want, well, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek on the progress there too, but that's why those 2 happen. I've been focusing on those 2 more so than anything else in this project. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and start with my Project 10 pan items, and then I'll go into my Project Pan Roulette items. And then I'll set my February goals at the end. I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry. Okay, so for my Project 10 pan, I have my Arabella Stewart Petal Soft Eyeshadow Trio in Royal Damask. I have been using this, but it doesn't really look too much different from the first time I showed it to you. I've been using it in conjunction with some eyeshadows from my Project Pan Roulette, most notably the 2 purples. I haven't really done too much with the pink because I'm using the other pink. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see the little dips that are starting to form because I've been using the outside edges rather than the itty-bitty middle parts. But there's that. Let's see, I've also... my CoverGirl Eye Slicks, yes! Basically what happened is they are old. I found them at the Dollar Tree when they were being discontinued, and I've had them for a little while since then. But I was sharpening my pink one because I've been using the pink one, Luminous Pink, quite a bit. And it fell out. So this is what is left of it. I've also got the other one, the one in Pacific, in here, because that one kind of fell apart too. So they were getting kind of hard and dried up, so I put them in here, mashed them up with some petroleum jelly, Vaseline, and this is the end of those. So now that I've done this with them, I'm thinking this will go pretty quickly now. I'm not sure if I'll use all of it in February, but I'm guessing it will be done by maybe March, something to that effect. So anyway, that's my 2 CoverGirl Eye Slicks. And I haven't touched my Rubigo eyeshadow in Shimmering Silver at all. It still looks the same as it always does. Same thing with the silver eyeshadow stick. Even though there's not too much of that left, I haven't touched it. That might be the next thing after I finish the pink eye slicks. I might start going into that. My 2 eyeliners, I think I've each used them maybe once or twice. There's still quite a lot of the black one left, and then the pencil is a sharpened one, and I haven't hardly used that, so there's those 2. I also quite haven't figured out how to use them with my current eye looks, so maybe that's part of my problem. What else do I have? Is it just my 3 lipsticks? I still have this one. This is the one I depotted. I do have it on today on top of a lip liner, which is my favorite way to use it. So I've used that a few times. I haven't used Exotic Lily at all. That's still the same as it was. But the other one I have in my Finish 7 by Spring, and I promise I'll link that down below, but that was my last one, and I've just kept it up because it's only like that tall. I've got a little sheet here, and it's this one here on the end, which I need to mark it. That's the last time. Anyway, I know my thing isn't very helpful. It's helpful for me, but not really for you. But anyway, it's just teeny tiny. Okay, and I believe that is the end of my Project Tin Pan. And now this one will be over when I've used 10 products. And if I use a product, I'll be choosing another similar product to dump into this. But I've sort of promised myself not to put any more eyeshadows into my Project Pan this year. Okay, and now on to Project Pan Roulette, which is sort of the fun one for me anyway. Okay, so this was my lucky dip, and it was the Rimmel Match Perfection blush in the shade medium. I have used it a couple of times, but as it is pretty much still brand new, you can't tell. There is a little dip in the bottom there, and I'm not entirely sure where that come from. I haven't quite got past the design. You can kind of see I've been dipping my brush down towards the bottom too, and the design is kind of coming off there. But yeah, the goal for this one is mostly just to hit pan, a brush size pan, which obviously I have yet to do. So there's that one. I also have a eyeliner, and I have used this a couple of times, but it's still quite full-sized. It is quite creamy. I do like the formula. It is an MUA Intense Color eyeliner in the color Royal Blue. So this is, oh excuse me, this is a UK drugstore product. Although I believe you can get them in the US now. I'm just not quite sure where. It's like CVS or Rite Aid or someplace I don't have around here. But these are quite good. They are quite creamy. And I do like the formula. It's just very hard to wear blue eyeliner with most of the shadow I've got hanging around here. But what I do sometimes do with it is my Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. This is a limited edition trio into Muse and Carouse. But that blue in here is what I use to set this eyeliner when I do wear it. I can get it open for you. Just the blue on the bottom there. Even though it doesn't quite match, it does do well enough to set that blue liner. I've not really used it otherwise, it's just the blue to set the eyeliner. And of course the applicators roll around in there. Okay, and the blue was the something blue that I picked. The something red that I picked was the Deandra Super Moist Hydrating Lipstick in Brilliant Scarlet, and haven't used it and haven't touched it. I'm working on that other lipstick. The lip product in a color I don't normally wear was the Almay. Oh, I did have this figured out. It's actually supposed to have SPF 15 in it, but I'm guessing that's gone now. Something like, oh, Lip Vitality. And I have been using this one, but I've had to be careful with it because the bullet has come loose a little bit. So eventually this will have to be depotted, but for now I just kind of roll it up just enough to use it and then leave it in the tube. So there's that one. I've got something gold. I have used it a couple of times. You can kind of see I'm starting to get a little spot there in the middle. This is Eternal Gold. But there's that. Okay, now something I DIY'd. Okay, this might be ever so slightly confusing, but this is how I decided to do this. I showed you this pot in the beginning one, but then this is the one I'd been using, and I thought, what's the point of starting this one if I've still got this one? So I've been working on this one actually. And it's still the same thing as this. It's just when I made it, it made enough to to have like 2 containers about half full, which is about how I wanted them. So I just continue working on this one, and then I would like to have this one finished too, and then I've also got a third one. So I'm just gonna carry on when that one's done as for my foundation. But this is the one that's going to be counting for Project Pan Roulette, not this one. Same thing, it's just going to use this one instead. Okay? And there's not a whole lot of this one left. I've got most of the stuff on my face today, by the way. But there's not a whole lot left in that one. So there's that. And then I've got 3 eyeshadow singles. Okay. So this is the pink one that I chose, and I'll try to get it up close for you. There is a little more pan here because I've been directing my brush to this side of the pan here. You can see that. And this was my half finished product. And this is the one I'm thinking, or I'm going to try to finish in February. And this is in my finish 7 by spring, so without a doubt it will be done by the middle of March. So there's that one. And then I've got an eye product in my favorite color, which I've only used a couple of times. Some of the blue's coming off it. Anyway, this is just an unbranded eyeshadow. It's not very good quality at all. It barely shows up, so I do need something on underneath it. The pan hasn't really gotten any bigger, but there it is. And then I've also got something green, which I think I've tried out once or twice. And this is also a Technic eyeshadow. And this was for something green. And I've used it maybe once or twice just to check out and see how pigmented it was, and it's not very. But anyway, there's that, and that is all of my products. Okay, so some goals. Like I said, my 2 things in my finish 7 by spring, I really do expect to be done by the end of February. This might be close. I'm going to work on it so that maybe I'll have 3 things done by the end of February, and so maybe I'll get to pick a new 2 new Project Pan Roulette items. That'd be kind of cool. What else? It'd be cool if I was done with my eye slicks by the end of February. Might work on that too. As for everything else, I'm guessing just progress. Oh, and for this one, I'm calling it done in my finish 7 by spring when it hits the plastic, and that's also what I'm calling it done by the end of February. I will see if I can scoop some of it out, because that Pinterest thing, using lipstick to cover your under eye circles, this one actually kind of halfway works for me, but I've been using it more as a lipstick. So when it gets down to the plastic, I'm going to start scooping it out and using it as an under eye color corrector, and we'll see if that goes a little bit quicker that way. Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be it. This is going to be in my finish 5 by May 5th, so you'll probably be seeing a lot more of this, and if I can figure out how to take it and use it at work without it getting all over the place, I might be doing that too, because while I do like to wear it with that lip liner, I'm guessing the lip liner is going to be done long before this is. So that's going to happen at some point. Apart from that, I think that's just about it. Yep, the pink eyeshadow, the Yvonne lipstick, and Coco Poco, both in my finish 7 by spring, will be done by the end of February, I'm hoping. I'd like to have my DIY tinted moisturizer done by March update, and my CoverGirl eye slicks. So let's see if that's actually 5 things. So we'll see if I can get those 5 things taken care of by next update. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. like, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you liked this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!